Beep beep. Hello. Ooh, I'm still glowing. You still glowing? I'm still glowing. That's a song, isn't it? What's that song? Oh, here, Barbara. What's her name? Streisand. Isn't it? I'm still glowing. You're still flowing. You're still going strong. I hear the room, or I feel the room, innit? I can't. Hello, Dolly. That was great, wasn't it? With what's his name? Not Martin Luther King. It was, Satchmo. What was it? Was it? Hello, Louis Armstrong. What's wrong with you this morning? I tell you, it's been such an excitable 24 hours that one found it hard to sleep. One found it hard to sleep because one was really joyful. It was so lovely to see everybody yesterday, don't you think? It was so lovely to see those marvellous women from for Women Scotland, to see them celebrating and that grand cheer that they gave out. And it's such a strange sensation after all this time to see something so joyous happen. And I did you? I mean, you must have thought that. Stick it in the dubris, right? Tell me what you thought. Tell me what you thought, because I was sort of walking around in quite a euphoric state for most of it yesterday, because it was so amazing what they've achieved, and it's so amazing that we had to achieve it in the first place by doing all the things that we're doing. Every person doing their thing, whether it be stickering or taking people to the Supreme Court, all doing your stuff, trying to get this stopped. So yeah, it's and then I ended up waking up this morning at 4:30, and I'm pensive, thoughtful, having a mull, thinking about things. I think one of my favourite things yesterday was when I saw somebody put up a thing and it said, "This is a kick in the balls for trans women everywhere." A kick in the balls for trans women everywhere. How glorious is that? Yes, that's glorious, isn't it? And also, I was reading about a survivor from Mao. Mao tried to do away with gender, didn't he? With sex. He tried to do away with the reality of sex as well. He did. If you look at the picture of people post the Cultural Revolution in China, you can't tell the difference. All dressed the same, the haircut's all the same. It's got that very North Korean vibe, And it's so great that we can celebrate what happened yesterday and the achievements of for women in Scotland, but we've still got to be cognizant of the fact that for some people there's still an awful lot to do in various different countries such as Ireland and Canada, and even over here there's going to be a lot to do, because if you imagine they're going to give this up easily, they're not going to go, "Oh well, that's that." They're not. Essentially what yesterday did was to return to a kind of status quo, but now we have the definition of sex, so important, within the Equality Act, that first of all the GRA doesn't need to exist, so that can go now. There's no reason for it to exist at all, none whatsoever. Get rid of it, get it gone. But that still leaves us with the overall problem of A, the Equality Act, and B, the rest that's tagged onto this. What got me into this was not trans. That wasn't the first thing that did it, although that was happening at the same time. What actually got me into this was the death of George Floyd, and the realisation that Black Lives Matter, that bunch of con merchants, ended up conning the world out of millions, and they're being investigated for it, is that they posited themselves right from the very beginning on all their websites as, "We are a queer and trans organisation. We believe in, tribal ways of living. We don't believe in the family. We want to see the end of the nuclear family." That's what got me into this. And I've always been convinced, not everybody has. I talk to people, people, GC people. I talk to people who don't think that there's an omni problem. There is an omni problem. And that this fight that we're having right now is going to pale into insignificance when we have to deal with critical race theory. Am I right about that? Am I wrong about that? You tell me. I'm just mulling here. Just mulling. So queer theory is the other thing as well. Now, this stuff is embedded in schools. It's embedded in the NHS. It's embedded in the civil service. It's embedded in just about everything we know. So although I'm really, as you know, absolutely delighted about what's happened, it's really solid groundwork. But it is groundwork. Because this is far from over. It was so lovely to see the warrior teachers yesterday and to be able to talk to them. It was strange, really, because we were dealing with difficult folk. which is quite appropriate. We had some fun doing it as well, talking about various things, and we get annoyed and argue about stuff, and I say things to shock. It's wonderful. They're great. And they were so happy. And some of them were so frustrated because some were in the evening session and they desperately wanted to talk about what had happened. So it was a lovely day with them. But this is just groundwork. It's really important. It's utterly brilliant, but it's groundwork. It isn't going to stop. You think they're going to stop telling your kid that this is okay? They're not. You think they're going to stop the schools from using outside providers that are full of shit? They aren't. Watching LinkedIn, because I'm banned by LinkedIn. I've been banned for years, right? But people send me screenshots now going, have you seen this? Have you seen this? Have you seen this? Oh, the troonery. The buffoonery of the troonery. Because they were spitting blood on LinkedIn. But they were showing their true character. For God's sake, why would a business engage with these people? Businesses now need to have a check sheet and go, right, are they interested in X, Y, Z? Because if they're doing that, we don't want them anywhere near us. That includes decolonisation, indigenous ways of knowing, my lived experience, bring your whole self to work. It's all the same thing, right? It's all the same thing. Warrior teachers know that because they've done the work. They've done the work to understand why it's the same thing. Make no bones about it. What we are dealing with is a cult. These people aren't going to give it up overnight. They're not going to do it. They're still infiltrated in workplaces. They're still, working in your schools. They're still teaching your children. So yeah, brilliant, but work still to be done. Now, I'm quite happy, I always am. Tell me I'm bloody wrong. Tell me that we can all have a sleep now. Tell me that I can give it all up. Wish I bloody could. I'd lose everything if I gave up what I do. Tell me that I'm wrong. But I don't think I am wrong. I don't. I've had people messaging me going, oh, they be mad. From Manchester's case scene. They're furious. But what's going to happen next? Are we going to get more guidance come out? Saying, stop fanning about with unisex toilets and get them all back to men and female? Is that what's going to happen? Are people going to have to do that? Is that what's going to be needed? What about the schools? What about the scouts? They aren't going to give this up. They aren't. They've taken court cases, right? Look at NHS Fife and Sandy's case. They've taken court cases and continue to keep going with these court cases when they know they're going to lose. With public sector organisations, they don't care. It's public money. So how are we going to enforce what happened yesterday? How are we going to ensure that what happened yesterday transfers easily? Some people will fall in line, but many won't. They aren't going to give it up. They aren't going to give it up because it isn't just about men in frocks. Look at the work of Genevieve Glock or Jennifer Billick, or the work that they're doing. They're looking at sort of like, down the road at things like transhumanism and not just that, but also the political darkness that comes with this particular form of leftism that we've seen, who killed so many in the Holodomor, led to the rise of Hitler. That this leftism, Mao, all the stuff that comes with it, is not going anywhere. The unions are still very strong on it. The unions are still going to push it. Equity hasn't left as of yesterday. It's still being pushed by people. Still being pushed by the WF. Still being pushed under the banner of social emotional learning. So it's fantastic. But it's groundwork. And I don't want to piss on your strawberries. Enjoy yourself. Fill your boots. But we have to be real about what happens next. Because the battle is far from over. Come and join us. Come and be a warrior teacher. Get involved. Oh, he does cause some trouble. But then that's the name of the game. All right. I need a break. I need a bloody holiday. I'll see you later. All right. Have a great day. Bye-bye.